In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a recipe called Pollo con rajas. It is chicken with Poblano chili peppers in a creamy sauce, super delicious, very kid-friendly, and pretty easy. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. So for this recipe, I used about 3 pounds of chicken thighs cut into strips, 5 Poblano chili peppers, 1 onion, 2 cloves of garlic, 1 29-ounce can of corn, a quarter cup of milk, a half pound of white cheese. It could be any kind. I used mozzarella. I used about 2/3 of a package of cream cheese and 1/4 cup sour cream, and salt and pepper to taste. The first thing that you want to get started is roasting the chili peppers. So I just have mine on my flame on the gas, but you can also broil them and also put them in the pan and roast them that way. These you want to get started because it's going to take a while. Once the skin gets charred, I'm going to put them in a bag so that they can continue cooking so that the flesh gets nice and soft. Okay, I think these are done. I always like to save my produce bags for when I roast the Poblano chili peppers, and that way I can sweat them in there. These bags work really well, so I'm just going to grab my chili peppers and put them directly into the bag and set it off to the side. And then you can just grab the other chili here, and you can see how dark that I roast it, so don't worry about it being burned or charred because all of that stuff is going to be peeled off. I'm going to wrap this in a towel so it gets warm like that. Make sure my towel doesn't catch on fire, and I'll continue roasting these peppers. Okay, while the chilies are set aside and sweating, I am going to add a little bit of oil to my pot and start cutting up some onion. I also forgot to record that I cut up some chicken thighs and I just lightly salted it, and I have it ready to go into our hot oil. So we have our chilies sweating right here. And we're going to cut up some stuff. Okay. We're going to start cutting this onion. One of the reasons that I love cooking with the Poblano chili peppers is because they have a really great flavor and they're super mild on the spiciness. Sometimes you can get a hot one, but usually they're pretty mild, and even the kids will usually eat like chile rellenos or whatever I'm cooking with the Poblano in it. So if you don't like spicy stuff, try the Poblano. And I'm just going to cut these up like this. I'm going to cut them so that way the chicken and the chili and the onions and everything is about the same size and shape. The onions is getting to my eyes.
Why this make you cry?
Huh?
Why are you crying?
Okay, so now that the oil is hot, I'm going to go ahead and put in the onion. So we're going to let this cook about 5 minutes, and we'll get it not totally brown or translucent or anything, but just a good little a little brown on there. So I cut 2 pieces of garlic, the ends off. So when these are a little bit more cooked, then I am going to put the garlics in there. Okay, so these I'm going to put them on low real quick so that I can start peeling my chilies, a couple of chilies at the sink. So I'm just gonna start doing that. So So to rinse off the chiles, the charred skin should just be able to slide off very easily under running water, and you want to pull off the seeds and veins as well. Okay, so now that these are at a good point here, this is when I'm going to add the garlic. And I'm just going to use I found this in my drawer, so I'm just going to use this garlic crusher. But if you just want to mince it up yourself, you can do that. Yes, baby? Oh my goodness. Okay, just a sec. What is it? Is your
Because I beat the boss.
Put that back in there. It's the boss?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Is it gonna help me?
I will definitely try, but I'm not even really good at beating that boss.
No, why? You're gonna help me. You're gonna help me to start on this. Okay.
Sure. I will try, okay?
Okay. Press these letters.
So then I'm just gonna stir this, and right now I have it on kind of low because I'm running low on time. So I'm gonna kick this up to a 2 and see if we can't get the rest of the stuff ready. Actually, I'll go ahead and put it on 3 because I've got my chicken ready to go. The chicken is the next step once this garlic gets a little bit cooked. So I'm gonna put that right there, and I'm gonna start adding some stuff to the blender. So what I'm going to add to the blender is just one of these poblanos. So I'm taking this thing, the stem off. I'm taking the stem off and cut.
Really cut?
I'll edit it later. And a little bit of milk. I'm going to pull out a measuring cup for you guys. Never mind. I'm just going to add about a 1/4 cup of milk. There we go. And we'll blend this up.
Can you please pick yeah?
Let that blend. Okay, over here, the onion and garlic is toasted and browned or whatever. So now I'm going to add the chicken in there. And then after it cooks for a little bit on the one side, then I'm just going to start stirring it around so we can get this cooked up pretty evenly. Have this kind of on a medium high. Now that I tossed the chicken in. And we'll go back to the blender. Okay, so our next step is to cut the chilies up into rajas, and that's just into strips. So I'm peeling off the stem off these. That smells good. Hey, maybe you guys should make a cake
Oh yeah,
or something.
Can I show them how it looks like?
Oh, who? Oh, no, the camera, that's okay. Maybe a different video when you make a cake. I love Poblano chili peppers. They give such a great flavor and they're not very spicy. So if you don't like spicy food, you can probably still give this one a try. And sometimes you will get a spicy one, but if you do, just don't use that one and get a different one that is not so spicy. Just cut them however you want. I like to match about the same width of the chicken. And I'll set those aside. Yes? Please, let's be kind to each other. Okay, so to this, I never salted the onions, forgot to salt the onions, so I'm going to add a little bit more salt on top, and I'm also going to add a little bit of corn. We like a lot of corn, so we'll add that, and then we're going to toss the chilies on top as well. And now we're just going to add to our salsa the cream. I'm using cream cheese and
So funny.
for the cheese, I'll probably be using about a half pound. And for the cream cheese, I think I'll start off with half. Let's see how much that is. Probably perfect. It's a little bit warm in here. So I'm just gonna drop that right in to the blender. I think I'll add a little bit more. That's more like 2/3. And then for the cheese, I'm just gonna chop this up so that it's easier for the blender. Even though my blender is a beast. I'll put that there. I'm gonna blend this. I'm gonna stir this real quick to make sure that it's all cooking well and that our chicken is getting cooked. Let's sit you down here. Easier. Cover it to let it cook faster. And then over here at the blender, still on, so I'm gonna blend this up. Tastes really good. I forgot the sour cream. I don't know if I have sour cream. Okay, I have a little bit of sour cream, but not very much, so I'm just gonna add like 2 big tablespoons. I really don't need that much. Tastes like it needs a little bit of salt. And then I'm going to blend this up again. I'll just give it a quick whirl.
Chocolate.
What kind of chocolate?
Chocolate chip.
Oh, I think I have some chocolate chips somewhere. Yep. I know. I think I'm going to add some more corn. And you can adjust this to your liking if you want more poblano. I probably would have put more poblano, but I only had 5. And the kids really like corn, so we don't mind a lot. You could also toss some of the corn into your blender as well if you want that cream corn taste. So basically, I'm looking to make sure that the chicken is fully cooked, because you don't want to add your salsa if the chicken is not fully cooked, because the salsa could burn real easy. So I'm going to give this another couple of minutes. That's definitely a no-no. A no-no. A no-no, yes. Is that funny? A no-no and a boo-boo. Okay, so here our chicken is fully cooked. And now is the time that we're gonna add in the salsa. Super creamy, thick, cheesy, delicious chili poblano flavor. Ah! Oh, and when we add this, we want to drop it down to low. Very low flame. Come on, baby. Still a lot in there. Mmm. Tastes so good. Mmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Daisy. So there's still kind of a lot of cream in my blender, so I just put a little bit of milk at the bottom, and I'm going to try to blend it to get it all out. I'm not trying to waste any of that. So I just want to stir this up so that way I can get the flavor mixed in really well into everything. So you can let this cook on low for about 5 minutes so everything grabs the flavor, and it is pretty much done after that. This is just a creamy, delicious meal that you can serve up with some warm tortillas, and it will be delicious. Mmm. So good. Okay. It's been a couple minutes on low. With something creamy like this, you have to be very careful when you have it on the stove that you scrape the bottom, because it will start sticking and burning. So this is pretty much ready to serve up, and I'm just scraping the bottom. I probably added a little bit too much water trying to get the last bit out of the blender, but if I let it sit here long enough, it'll get creamy again and not so liquidy. But it tastes really good anyways. So no worries. So I'm gonna serve this up. Now I am making rice on the side just in case the kids say that it's too spicy. And you can just serve it up with some rice to kind of cut the heat. But I'm just making white rice. So this is Pollo con rajas. That was in my video. Okay. Well, I ended up serving this with warm corn tortillas. It tastes really delicious. The poblano comes out, gives a really good flavor to the dish, and it is not too spicy. So even though we cooked with the poblano chili peppers, it's not a very hot chili at all. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and I hope you give it a try. Thank you so much for watching the video. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, please, and subscribe to the channel if you like the channel. Thank you so much for watching.